Hello, everyone. My name is Paul McCarthy, Country Manager with HP Indigo in Toronto, Canada. Today, I was asked to share with you some of my techniques and strategies on how I worked through the COVID experience over the last number of months. And there was a process and a system that I followed that appeared to have worked out. And I look forward to sharing this with you with hopes that it can help you generate some activity and some net new sales. So to begin, my important date was March the 11th. That was the day that everything came to a standstill over here in North America, and when my pipeline and funnel was virtually vaporized. And at that point, as we all know, companies began to bunker down and to see what life was going to be like, what was the short-term experience going to be, and things were a little quiet. And it was nice to know that we were already virtually set up to communicate with our current customers with access to data on our print OS, so we could wrap our arms around our current customers. But the show must move on. We must get sales, and how are we going to do it? And to a certain degree, I even felt uncomfortable calling some customers, wondering here, when can we pick up where we left off? Or do you want to talk about some new technology that's going to be better for you on the other side of this? And I got met with some resistance and some pushback on my first couple of approaches. So I had to come up with a better story and a new narrative, and I did. What I did, I kind of, how do I communicate with somebody who's never communicated with me before on a new virtual platform that they've never communicated before? And so what I did, I called them. I reached out to them via LinkedIn, by phone, by email. I actually found LinkedIn to be probably my most successful. I had to kind of get through all the weeds real quick. And I spoke to owners. One thing that was common between all of them is that their calendars were cleared up and they were beginning to have more time. So my approach to them was, listen, I have availability of top talent at HP right now, which I normally don't have access to. And it might be a good time for you to invest an hour with me over the next month or so to kind of see how we may be able to help you. What is the experience like with HP? What's it like to partner with HP? What kind of partner are you going to pick on the other side of this curve? And it really all boiled down to look, six things. One was I was going to talk about brands, I was going to talk about site flow, I was going to talk about business development, financial analysis, the product end-to-end experience, such as workflow, and then the demonstration. And then if at the end of that process, you felt that that was going to be something that you needed on the other side of this, then I think we got a good story to tell. Now, what's interesting, it's just not talking in those words. Bottom line is there is a new world out there. Having a storefront is not good enough anymore. Having a website is not good enough anymore. Having a e-commerce site is not just good enough anymore. You need to go where the business is. And this experience that we just had all around the world is going to change things up. So it was important to introduce Doris Brown McNally, who takes care of our brands. How do brands depend on HP? She got to tell her story and introduced how does SiteFlow work with that. That was the same call when I had SiteFlow and Doors working together on this is where the brands are, this is where the brands are putting the business. SiteFlow is able to actually grab that business and have it fulfilled in your individual location. This is the new mall of the future. And the number of brands that are on the platform pre-COVID to where we are now, it's actually increased quite a bit. Then I got into introducing business development. How is business development going to help you with those ideas I just gave you and go to the market with a new idea? It's helpful that you have a sales manager or VP of sales or salespeople, but that's where I introduced Jeff Dowd and working with Kirk Lewis at SiteFlow and working with Doris with the brands, it painted a very nice picture. And if you notice, I'm not even talking about a press yet. Then we went into, okay, let's talk about the financial aspect of this. So we introduced our financial analysts, Brendan Betts and Doug Blake, and they go and they spin their story about how much business do you actually need, where are the new trends going, where's the puck going to be, and that helps them understand, okay, is this feasible, is this possible? Shall we move to the next step? And the next step was then, okay, now let's look at the product. Where is this actually coming together? Where's the end goal? And introducing people like Glenn Adams and Tim Steffel and Leor, then the customer gets to visualize exactly what is the press. And virtually, this was done very amazingly. I actually enjoy Zoom a heck of a lot better than even live face-to-face. Then we got into the end-to-end experience. So I introduced Bob Rouse, I introduced Douglas Gibson with Infigo, and I reintroduced Kirk Lewis back into the picture so we can watch how this end-to-end workflow goes from the market being able to make an order, immediately send it in, have it processed through SiteFlow, and they'll put it on a device. It's like magic. And but they didn't see it. So then the next step after that was to set up the demonstration, and that was where the wow factor came in. It was unbelievable. We actually, from one big ocean between us to 3 countries and 2 continents, made an order online, have it processed through SiteFlow, and have it fulfilled and printed on the 30,000, all while live being online. That was the wow factor where the customer was, okay, I'm ready to sign. So the good news is we have signed 230,000s in the last 90 days with this particular strategy. And it certainly was one of the fastest sales cycles I've ever had. I hope this helps. Thank you.